Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga
I can't
chaka,
stop
ooga,
this
ooga,
feeling.
ooga chaka, ooga.
Welcome back to Guardians of the Galaxy Month. So you're all excited about that new movie and you want a better understanding about that comic group. Well, it's time for me to explain the current Guardians of the Galaxy team, their first major story, and then the rotating cast of teammates Iron Man, Venom, Captain Marvel, and Angela. But first, we have to cover Star-Lord, Gamora, Groot, Rocket Raccoon, and Drax the Destroyer. Now it's time for everybody's favorite talking tree. I am Groot. That's all. See you later, guys. Have a good day. It's been fun. That's all I got. That's all I could find. He only says one sentence. Now, obviously, that joke is based upon Groot's speech patterns, but let's explain why he only says that before we even begin. Because that's what all the other characters in all of his stories can hear. Maximus the Mad, Black Bolt's brother, has stated that Groot's trademark, I am Groot, is actually any number of things and the way he communicates. Since he's a tree-based alien, his vocal cords are very stiff and inflexible, so people who can't understand his race's language just hear, I am Groot. At first, we weren't sure if this was just Maximus being insane, but in All New X-Men 23, Jean Grey has telepathically connected with Groot's mind and discovered that he is in fact very intelligent. Now, Groot is an interesting character because he actually started in Tales to Astonish number 13 as an alien who came to Earth to capture and study us. He was just a random monster who got an interesting story, but he appeared again 16 years later when the Hulk was fighting against 5 of the monsters from the early Tales to Astonish books. And then again in a nightmare that Peter Parker had. He then appeared again in 2006 as a member of Nick Fury's Howling Commandos, and we were never told how he ended up on that team. And then he started to appear in the Annihilation series and eventually joined the Guardians of the Galaxy with Rocket Raccoon. Now, with his recent reboot as a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy, his origin was changed slightly so that he wouldn't be considered a monster per se. Groot is an alien known as a Flora Colossus from Planet X, and that is the capital of the Branch Worlds. Every tree-like being from the planet simply says, I am Groot. But that's the way their language sounds, like I said earlier. They're actually communicating with each other. Now, the young ones of this species are taught all the knowledge of the alien race by the Arbor Masters, who impart their knowledge on the young ones through photosynthesis. Since they all have knowledge of their entire race, every single one of them is actually a genius. The member of the Guardians of the Galaxy that we all know as Groot actually grew up hating his peers, and he preferred the company of the maintenance mammals, which are small squirrels that tend to the Flora Colossi. One day, Groot actually killed one of his brothers while defending a maintenance mammal, and due to this, he was exiled by the Arbor Masters. Now, his race seems to live longer than anything else in the universe, as Groot is apparently the last of his race by the time that we get to the Annihilation event. Here, he was captured by the Kree for some unknown reason, and then was set free to join Star-Lord's strike force. It is here that he would become close to Rocket Raccoon and eventually die in the storyline. But this is where Groot's race gets even more interesting. He can simply regrow from small sprigs that survive, and that's actually what he did. He would then join Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon on the Babel assault, where he would grow to colossal size and sacrifice himself again by igniting himself on fire to destroy the building. But since he got so close to Rocket Raccoon, Rocket took a piece of Groot with him out of the building, so when Groot died the second time, Rocket would help him regrow again, cementing the friendship of the two best buds in the entire galaxy, the raccoon and the tree. From there on, Star-Lord and Rocket would work with Groot as the Guardians of the Galaxy on many adventures fighting Magus and fighting off the Universal Church of Truth followers, and eventually fighting against Thanos with the Guardians. And that's basically all there is to it. Groot was a fun monster character that got turned into a rather fun Guardian of the Galaxy. Now for powers, Groot is a living tree. He can be killed and regrow from the smallest piece of himself. He is ancient and full of knowledge, and he has a crazy amount of strength. And he can also sprout and grow to massive size at will, and then become a small sprout again. As for television and movie appearances, he's been on Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Ultimate Spider-Man, Avengers Assemble, and Hulk and the Agents of Smash. In the upcoming movie, Vin Diesel provided all the motion capture bodywork and the voice for Groot. And as for video games, he is a summon skill for Rocket Raccoon in Marvel Superheroes, and he also appears in LEGO Marvel Superheroes and is playable in Disney Infinity. And that's really it. I wish there was more on Groot, but we'll have to get more into his history inside of the stories involving the Guardians of the Galaxy at a much later date. And with that, thank you for joining me. I'm Comicstorian, and I'll see you guys next time right here at Comicstorian. I just double did my own name. And next up on our list is Drax the Destroyer.